All right, I am here with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mario. Is it Pena? Last name Pena?
Falcon Pena.
Falcon Pena. God dang, that's a dope ass name, man. So, so we met here on Instagram. Started following each other.
Yeah.
And I got so fascinated with your journey through your weight loss and everything you got going on. So I really wanted to be able to sit down and talk with you and see how everything's going and what your journey's been like. So basically, let's start by saying what was your starting point for your weight loss journey?
My starting point was 575 pounds.
575.
Yeah.
And how long ago was that?
That was in 2012. So
Okay.
that was 2012 is when I got my highest. I think like after my mom passed away and all that craziness, I just started eating, smoking, drinking, just kind of coping with the pain. You know what I mean? Trying to figure out what was going on. So
just kind of not caring.
Not caring. I was a mama's boy, so I kind of took it. It took it hard, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. And so the way I coped with it was, I guess, eating, stress eating, and just kind of cope eating. So
coping with the pain is, I think it's pretty common for a lot of people. They do it different ways, whether it be substances, and I think we're learning more and more that food has become it's a kind of drug.
Mm-hmm. It really is, bro.
So 2012, you got started. 575. What was kind of the point? Did you kind of like have an epiphany? You woke up one day and was like, "Look, I got to make a change." What was that like?
To tell you the truth, like 2 years. I honestly started my weight loss journey in 2014.
Okay.
But at my highest point, I went to the doctor, and literally I had kidney stones, and that's when I saw my weight. I was like, "Whoa, crap, this is not good." So little by little, I just kind of started just watching my stuff, what I was eating, what I was doing, and not really like on a diet or anything, like nothing crazy. So I just kind of watched what I did, just to kind of like, I was scared, man. Like, man, I was 600 pounds.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary. I'm not sure if you ever, I don't know how much you ever weighed, but when you see something on the scale that's almost 600 pounds, it kind of catches you by surprise. But at the same time, the epiphany was like in 2014. I still wasn't at my best. I was still eating bad. I was still drinking. I was still doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I had a weird dream, dude. Like, my mother came to me, her spirit. Like, it gives me goosebumps talking about it right now. But her spirit came to me, man. And I woke up in a cold sweat. Like it was surreal dream. I don't know if you ever had a surreal dream. Like, you woke up and like,
yeah.
That was my beginning of starting, and you know what? I'm not losing weight and do it for my mom's memory.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean, is this I want to keep going down that road, but to kind of go back just a little bit, is this something that you have always struggled with? Has it always been a challenge?
Oh yeah, man. I can tell you, I've done in Mexico. I've done all the bad diets you can think of. My mom always wanted me to lose weight. She always wanted me just to do that and lose weight. But at the same time, she was making tortillas. She was making all the good stuff when I would go home. So it was kind of like the counter opposite of the situation. But I don't know if you're Latino, right?
Yeah, I'm Mexican, yeah.
Yeah, so you know how it is, bro. Moms were always trying to feed you, but at the same time, oh, you're too gordo, you're this, you're that. It's like,
yeah.
But, I kind of put it into my own, and I just kind of took it upon myself to start losing weight and remembering her.
Yeah, to your point, I think like when it comes to moms, Mexican moms, and I think all moms, whatever culture they're in, they make you what they know how to make. And that was very much the case.
What you like.
Yeah, what you like and what they know how to make. And, sometimes they'll try to make some healthier versions of things, but for the most part, they just kind of feed you what they know. And that's, you're a parent, I'm a parent, and we kind of do the same thing. We do what we know. Now we have the internet to educate ourselves, but back then, there was
just like this test. It was a test. It was testing, man. Test by trial.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you struggle with it your whole life, and the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because, did you play sports at all or anything growing up?
Yeah, I played football. I wrestled, track and field in high school.
Okay.
So I did a little bit of sports. I was active, somewhat active, I guess.
Well, but you have some athletic ability and things. And now, as you're getting back into the weight loss journey and working out, you have that muscle memory kind of coming back, and which is definitely very helpful. But one of the things that fascinates me, and I think a lot of people, about someone like you is, you're on Instagram, I'm on Instagram. We see a lot of people that are fitness, experts, so to speak.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are very lean, they're very fit, but I feel like, a lot of times they have genetics that allow that to be a much easier process, right? They've always been lean, they've always been fit, they can kind of eat whatever they want and not have
And be okay.
Yeah. So, but you and I've dealt with this on my own, but maybe not to an extreme version. I have to be very careful about what I eat, the portions I eat, the kind of carbs that I eat, everything. So I always joke about, I walk past a table of donuts and I instantly gain 5 pounds.
I just smell them, bro, and I gain 10. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what it is, though. Like, I don't know if it's just my loose skin or whatever it is. Like, for me, like, if I go on a binge for 1 or 2 days, I'll put on 15 pounds. It sounds stupid. My wife's experienced it, and she's like, how did you just gain 10 pounds? I'm like, it's just my skin, the water, the sodium, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I retain that. Or I'll go home for 4 or 5 days. To Mexico, to go eat over there. You don't get that stuff maybe once or twice a year,
Yeah, it's not lean meat and veggies over there, right?
No, bro. Burritos, tostadas, pozole, menudo, everything you think of,
Yeah, a lot of fried stuff, a lot of sauces, flour mixed in with the sauces and things. So
exactly.
So do you get frustrated sometimes when you see maybe somebody kind of talking about this is how you get lean, this is how you get fit, and it's kind of a cookie cutter kind of maybe way of looking at things when you know that if you did the exact same thing, you would not get those same results?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, it does a little bit because everyone's different. I've tried all the fad diets because I wanted to see what worked for me, what didn't work for me.
Right.
I tried the keto. It worked for me a little bit, but I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me. My wife loves it.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the keto diet because I think with her, we had the baby because of that diet.
Right.
Because it kind of helped her hormones get balanced, but that was for her body work. You know what I mean? So, but I like doing the low carb or carb cycling. There's so many different diets, that are good for people, but there's no magic pill. But people promote that magic pill or that magic shake. Oh man, that's what kind of frustrates the crap out of me personally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think whether it's supplements or whether it's shakes, I mean those things are kind of like little parts of the puzzle, right? They're kind of tools.
Well, yeah, the shakes. Don't get me wrong. The shakes it's a meal.
Well, yeah.
But it's not gonna make you say, or you're not gonna lose 100 pounds because you're gonna shake.
No, definitely not. And especially for someone like, maybe someone like you or even like me, I can't, I can't, I know long-term it's not gonna fulfill me. So therefore I'm not gonna stick to it and my results won't be, where they're supposed to be. I might get to a specific point, maybe weight or size for a very short period of time. And then I'll balloon back up when I want to eat food again. Yeah, exactly.
And I've been doing this this is 2014. So 6 years I've been up and down. I got down to 271. I was doing half marathons. I was running. But then I fell in love with powerlifting, and that kind of I started going up a little bit here, a little bit there, But
yeah. Well, that kind of requires maybe a little bit more mass, right, to be able to lift ultra heavy weights, whether for squat and things like that. Correct.
Correct.
Yeah. So you were talking about the different kind of diets that you've done, whether it be keto and things, and right now. So right now you said you're kind of doing a carb cycling.
Yeah, the carb cycling. Like I said, I've done different ones. So that's how I lost majority of my weight was carb cycling.
Do you consult with somebody? Do you have like a dietitian type person
Well,
that you?
I do have a coach, Rachel, but before her, I just my buddy helped me out. He gave me like a little program for carb cycling. It was through. What were those guys? There's a power couple that I forgot their name too.
Okay.
Powell and Heidi Powell and Chris Powell.
Okay.
Does that ring
Chris
a bell?
Powell. Yeah, I know Chris Powell. Yeah. Okay.
So they had in the beginning in 2014, my buddy gave me a 6-month subscription to this Body Fit thing, which introduced me to carb cycling.
Okay.
So I just kind of went through that whole process, learned how to eat, learn how to portion control, and
Right.
that's the main thing, man. Portion control.
Yeah, I've dealt with that on my end as well. I noticed that I don't always have to feel ultra stuffed to be satisfied, with a meal, and that's helped me through my journey as well. So I'm with you on that. For people who don't know, the carb cycling really is just eating certain types of carbs, the right amount of carbs at the right times of the day. Correct?
That, but so for certain days, you get, for example, you can only eat 20 grams of carbs.
Okay.
And then the other day, you can only eat 10 grams of carbs.
Okay.
So it's kind of like and then, so there's a 7-day cycle, and it goes 2 days low carbs, one day high carbs, 2 day low carbs, 1 day high carbs, and 1 day off every day.
Now, that doesn't matter whether you're working out hard that day or not, if you're doing
It doesn't, but it does suggest that if you are gonna, work out, that you probably want to do it on your carb days.
Okay.
And if you're gonna do offer days, or if you're not gonna do anything, do the low carb days. So those carbs aren't just sitting in your stomach. That's what I kind of read. I kind of did my own YouTube. I kind of did my own thing.
Right.
Just research and reading. I never went to a doctor. And then I have a coach that Rachel at the gym. She kind of gave me the options of doing what I need to do, and knowing that the eating now, but eating 6 times a day is tough for me.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of prep, first of all, and then a lot of times, and we'll get into what your daily schedule is like, but a lot of times your daily schedule doesn't always allow you to eat every 2 or 3 hours.
That's a crazy part.
Yeah. So you say you have a coach. Is that for weight training coach or a
It's
little bit
weight training. It's a little bit of everything. At first, it was just sorry. It was just for weight training, and then she offered to actually give me some options for eating.
Okay.
So right now, I've been going off of that. I fell off a little bit. Mental issues, during the holidays when I lost my mom and all that stuff, kind of hit depression. But I was on track for a while until just recently. But now I'm back on track. I'm just trying to get everything back, situated, and I got a baby on the way. So.
Oh wow.
The coaching thing is really nice having that. Yeah, I know. I got one back there that we can see her eating right now.
Oh yeah, there
She's
you go.
eating back there, and then I get the baby in the back. So
that's awesome. Well, congratulations on the second one, man.
Thanks, man.
That's
if you can
stuff.
have a coach, yeah, no, it's more nerve-wracking personally, but I guess the fear of everything's going on right now is kind of.
Yeah, it can be. It's a crazy time right now. So.
But no, back to the coach thing. It does help if you can afford a coach, or if you can have the privilege of knowing somebody that's willing to help you out. Take all the help you can get. But if you can't afford, or you can't get a coach, go online. I'm always, if you guys, anybody out there that's listening that needs help, you guys are always. I can always email you stuff that people gave me for free that I'm going to share. I'm going to charge you workouts. Like I have some home workouts that I was going to offer people. Some, food of lists that people have given me that I can offer you guys. So
that's awesome, man. That's really great. That's one thing I have noticed about a lot of the people that I've connected with in the fitness world, jiu-jitsu world, health and wellness. There's a lot of people willing to help other people, because at the end of the day, it seems to be it's all about us trying to be as healthy as possible. And we're going through it right now. We have a huge health pandemic going on in the whole world, and everyone's kind of said the same thing: to be as healthy as possible. And so it's important. I think it's important, and I think over the past years, it's been kind of understated. It's always been kind of like a vanity thing, where people thought that, well, if you wanted to lose weight, if you wanted to be muscular, if you wanted to look a certain way, it was based on vanity, not anything else. And I think more and more we're seeing now, as younger people, people in their 20s, 30s, all the way up to, we see people in our 70s and 80s who are very fit, active, they do yoga, they eat right, and they're living a lot longer, healthier lives. So that's great.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Is like, my dad, he's an old school Mexican. He works in the field for years and years and years. And, now he's just turned 76. and he's still going around walking, doing planting his trees, doing this and that. But that's just the generation. What Generation X is that older that always. I think they're always moving, hoping not fast pace. So I think that's why the old people are starting getting
Right.
active and surviving this crazy that's going up right now.
Real quick, the volume was a little low. I don't know. Do you have a way to adjust the volume a little bit?
Is that better?
Yes, much better. Perfect. Yeah, I agree. Just being active and out and about. And I'm actually a Generation X person, and you know, and it took me a while. It took me a while to kind of find my place, my journey as well. But that's a whole different thing. So back to what your daily schedule is like. So this is not something you do full time. I mean, you're not somebody who's independently wealthy and can just work out all day and have all the access to all foods. You still have a full-time job. You have a family. What do you do full time?
So I work for an air conditioning and heating company.
Okay.
I do sales over the phone.
Okay.
So, yeah,
So you got at least 40 hours a week doing that.
40 plus.
Yep.
Weekend I'll cover sometimes. I'll have dispatching.
Okay.
Sometimes 40 plus, but I try to make it at least 4 to 6 times, 4 to 5 times a week in the gym. Or right now there's no gym, so unfortunately I'm just trying to run it again. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm getting nothing to look at it.
Okay. So then you have your family time that you got to, you know, that goes
Yeah.
into the mix.
Make some mornings, get up in the morning, go for a run, get ready for work, and then take a lunch, depending on how it goes. I'll come back home, you know, eat something real quick, get back until 5, and then come home here and sit down with family, go for a little walk. And then the baby's been less than 3 weeks, so baby can, all the time you go for walks in the morning, so.
Once again, I got the volume is a little bit
Really?
in and out. Yeah. So mainly you try to tailor most of your workouts and things around your obviously your work schedule. So you'll do I see you all the time doing like morning runs or morning walks.
Yeah, I was doing morning walks or morning workouts, and then when the gym was accessible, I would go during lunch because I would get an hour or 2 hour lunch. So I'd get my workout in there too and get a double workout just to
Right.
kind of, you know, lose whatever I can. Wise.
Yeah. And then obviously in the evenings and then the weekends, you'll get the big bulk of your workouts in, whether it be weights or whatever.
Yeah, like Saturday mornings is my bigger day that I get my weights and then like well, today I actually went grocery shopping, but I was trying to early bird. But normally Saturday morning is my day that I get some big weights in and get a really good workout to finish off the week.
Okay. And so you're kind of doing a little bit of both, where you're wanting to gain muscle, but also, you know, shed down on any, you know, unneeded fat, correct?
Yeah, that's right now. I'm focusing on trying to just lose the weight right now.
Just lose the weight.
So I'm doing the weights for my coach. I've been doing sets of 12, 12 to 15 reps. So that's kicker. Excuse my French.
Yeah. So you're doing more reps, maybe with lighter weights, just to kind of
exactly
burn fat.
Burn that fat. Yep, exactly.
Okay.
It's called what's it called? Hypertrophy.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So,
now, do you have, let's say, like an overall goal, or do you have like have you kind of set markers where you're like, okay, this is where I want to be weight-wise, this is where I want to be size-wise, and this is where I want to maintain from here on out moving forward, with obviously a little fluctuation here and there, but.
Yeah, my ultimate goal has always been 250.
Okay.
And so right now I'm trying to get 300, and then the next goal is 275 and then 250.
So you're at 300 right now.
My ultimate right now I am at 360.
360, okay. So 360 down, then so you kind of, are you trying to do like a 25-pound interval type thing?
That's what I'm trying to just do. 10 pounds at a time, and then just kind of chunk it from there.
That's good.
There's no point in trying to get it all at once and then bounce back up. You know, it's.
Yeah, you drive yourself crazy with that. Yeah. So now I noticed that you post quite often. I don't know how often you normally do it. where you track all your progress, whether it be your weight, and it has some other measurements on there, and you post it out there, and you're really, really honest about if you do have any kind of weight gains, why that happened. Maybe you gave into certain types of foods, and how often do you do that measurement, and where do you get that measurement from?
So I was doing it every week.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna lie to you, it became stressful.
Yeah.
It became one of those things that it sounds stupid, but it became a stressful situation.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I think I'm just focusing once every month.
Okay.
And I feel it'll be more effective for me.
That's good.
Work and stress. Because I did it for almost 3 years, just weighing in every week.
Yeah.
And it started to set on me and started to stress me out. And it was defeating the purpose that I was trying to accomplish.
Right. Because you're hyper sensitive to it instead of just being focused on the task at hand.
Yeah. So right now I know I gain weight and a little bit of it, but at the same time I know that I'm really focused.
Okay.
And now I'm gonna do it once a month. Kind of go from there. Eating, but tracking what I'm going to be eating, just keeping myself accountable at the same time throughout the whole month.
Right.
And showing others, I think the main part is showing others that it's real. It's not just the six packs and the muscles and, the veggies, because not everybody can do that, man. And I would say 70% of the country, we're all in the same boat.
Sure. Yeah, I've always been, I remember, and this is kind of a simplified way to look at this, but I remember, I don't know if you can see, I have very straight, thick, straight hair. I remember when I was a kid, I would go to, Fantastic Sam's, whatever they had back then, and you go in and they have all those books that you look through with all the different hairstyles, because they tell you to pick a hairstyle. And I would tell the hairstylist, I want to look like this guy right here, right? And he had wavy, thin hair. And she would look at me like, I'll do my best, but that's not the hair you have. I didn't understand that as a kid. And I think when it comes to our bodies, it's so common that we don't understand that also. People will look at a picture, or the one that always sticks out to me, is Brad Pitt in Fight Club. He looks muscular, he's really, really super lean. And people are like, oh, I want to look like that. What diet and what exercise program will make me look like that? And what we don't always understand is, if it's not your body type, if you don't have the same body type and the same kind of genetics, no matter what you do, you're never going to look like that. And I think that kind of messes with people, because they think they're still trying to hit that goal, but it really is unattainable for them. It's really more about the best and healthiest you can be for your body type and for your activity, everything that you have going on, making it fit for you.
And that's why I try to push and promote on my page, is that you have to do what's good for you.
Yes.
I can do what I'm doing for myself, but not work for you.
Yeah.
Like I said, the keto thing, a lot of people love that keto diet. I personally, I'm not a big fan of it. I tried it just because my wife was on it. She loves it, and when she gets off, when she has a baby again, she'll get back on it again, because that's for her. That's like, I'm pretty sure you have your own thing you like to eat, and the way you eat it, and that's for you.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to promote, because everybody out there has their page, has their brand, has their set way, but it might not work for them, or for the other people that try to promote it.
Well, and I think too, an important thing to let people know is, even if it does work for you, you may lose weight. Hello. You may lose weight. You may start to lean out. You may gain muscle, but you still may not look like the person who's showing you how to do that diet.
And then the disappointment's gonna kick in. And then,
yeah, I mean, a lot of times that's even okay, as long as you are healthy and you're making gains, you're going in the right direction. It's okay that you don't look like somebody else. Because the main goal is to be healthy.
That's the main goal, but some people put it in their head that they're going to look like that, and they'll do whatever it takes to get that way. And that's when people start dying and start becoming what's that called? Bulimia, anorexia.
Yeah.
They get to that
become unhealthy. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's like you kind of correctly what you want to do just because you want to look like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I get concerned about that as well. if the look itself or the size or the scale is the only target, you can do that in an unhealthy way, and your body's not actually functioning at the best that it can.
That's, for me, that's when I got to the point of every week. That's why my wife was like, "You're stressing yourself out so much," and I was just getting stressed out. I literally, I'm not gonna lie to you, Eric. I was just stressed out. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
By Thursday, I was just like, oh my goodness, my weight, this and that. So then I was trying to just get, not worry about what's going on at the same time.
Yeah,
like,
there's a difference between accountability and putting yourself in a negative mental state.
Yeah.
Where you're constantly worried about something that and sometimes you don't have control over. Sometimes you can eat all the right foods and do all the right things, and maybe your body isn't reacting the right way to it, and that's part of the journey as well.
And the thing is, like, you don't know how your body. You don't know how you're gonna. Sorry.
Hi.
Sorry, man.
That's all good.
But yeah, no. There's food for me that I know if I eat, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
My stomach's not gonna react to it. It's either I'm gonna feel weird, I'm gonna feel something like that, and sometimes I'll eat it because I like it, but there's gonna be another consequences.
Yeah, that's an important distinction to make, because I do the same thing. There's a lot of times at my office, someone will bring donuts in or bagels, and 95% of the time, I won't eat it. I won't touch it, and I'm okay. I'm fine. It doesn't even bother me. And then every so often, I'll say, you know what? I'm having a donut today. And whatever the consequences are of that, if I gain a pound or if I feel sluggish for a couple hours, I'm okay with that. And I make that conscious decision knowing what I'm getting myself into, but also knowing I'm not going to have 5 donuts, and I'm not going to have donuts every day. I'm just going to have one today, and then I'm going to get right back on track to where I know I need to be doing.
And see, that's the difference between me and you. For me, I eat one donut, and it triggers me to eat the whole box.
Right. Yeah.
And everyone's different. Like, my wife hates sweets.
Yeah.
But she loves savory stuff.
Yes.
She'll eat a bag of chips. She'll eat this. She'll eat that. For me, a little bit of sugar triggers me to start just like a snowball effect, bro.
Just binge.
And it sounds ridiculous. It sounds silly, but like, it's every like you said, the hormones, the genetics, even the mentality is it's all put into one situation, one whole part,
Yeah, I think we're learning more and more that it's not always a willpower issue. A lot of times I think it's maybe more like a chemical makeup, where, like you said, with sugar, you'll have some, and it triggers, like, your body will instantly start wanting, craving, and needing more sugar, where someone else may have a donut and they're just fine. They have a bite. They can even have a bite of something.
Yeah.
And because it doesn't trigger the same way they do. Almost like, it's been talked about where they've correlated the brain function with sugar, and they've compared it to cocaine, and it's a very similar reaction.
The serotonin or whatever it is.
Yeah. The signals that's going on. Like, I'm not a scientist, so I don't really know. But
I'm with you, bro. But I watched the podcast, and it's something similar. It's crazy how
it's very similar, and I think we're learning that it's not just a matter of you need to have more willpower in order to get through this. It's understanding how your body and your brain is working with the foods that you're feeding it, and then how to navigate that path. And that path is like ever changing all the time. It's not just a one set way path. So I think that's probably the most difficult part, where everything's going cool for a long period of time, and then one thing changes, and it could be something that is emotionally triggered, and so your body or your brain is saying, I want this kind of food now to make me feel better. And if we don't understand that's kind of what's going on, we put ourselves in a bad situation, right? I mean, that's.
Yeah, no, and I've put myself in situations like that because I'm pretty good at saying no, but on certain things.
Yeah.
And I was at a point for 2 years before I met my wife. I didn't touch any sugar. I didn't eat any sugar. I was like, no, nothing. No, I knew how to, I was like, no. And then I got a little comfortable, and then, I can eat this. And then that trigger that function, that little thing inside your body was like, oh, what is this? You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, just went downhill. But at the same time, my wife has helped me so much and supported me that, you know what, let's do this instead of this. She's find options to fulfill my sweet tooth that aren't as bad as a Snicker bar or a pint of ice cream or a quart of ice cream or even a gallon of ice cream. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So,
Yeah, that's huge. Having a partner, having somebody right there with you that can kind of be that solid rock foundation for you and get you through those hard times. That's for some people, that's the difference of whether they make it through the journey or not.
It is, man. I can honestly attest to you that it's, you know, I've had my tough times. I got back up, I got back down. This is probably the highest I've gotten since the depression, but I don't know what happened this Christmas, but like depression hit me really hard.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but I've never hit in the past, even with everything, just something inside me, just, you know, like a mental, I don't know what it was, but luckily I have a support system that I'm able to snap out of it and get back down now and be back on track. And, you know, luckily I've always been honest with everybody up front, especially on Instagram, you know. That's why I've always been up front and honest about everything, that we all have our demons, issues that we deal with. We're on an everyday issue, man, everyday basis.
Yeah, definitely. So do you go see a doctor consistently with doing blood work tests or anything like that?
No.
No?
Shouldn't know, and that's why I need to start. My wife's been telling me I got insurance, so I probably make an appointment sooner than later.
Sure.
But I need to make sure all my blood work, my levels, and everything is up to par, because you never know what's going on, you know.
Yeah, I've started doing it just last year. I mean, I'm 43 years old. Just last year, I started doing blood work consistently because I for a long time I was in the same boat I think as a lot of people, and even you might be in right now, where it's like I don't know if I really want to know where I'm at because it could be scary.
That's where I'm at right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you on this right here on video on the record. Like I'm scared to go over there. Like I feel like I'm fine, but I'm scared to tell me that they have this or I have that or I have to do this or I have to do that.
Right.
That's the biggest fear out of everything, you know.
Yeah, well, what I learned from me going is that I did have some things to work on, and I've posted some of my results in the past about it, where you know, with my triglycerides and things, and so I've had to alter my diet accordingly. I found out my vitamin D levels were very low, so I started supplementing with vitamin D to my doctor's recommendations of how much to take. You have to be careful with that one. So I found some markers where I was deficient and where I needed to make some adjustments. And I've gone one other time since then, and I've seen those levels go towards the positive. So that's a good thing. And now that I know where I'm at, I know exactly what I should be doing to get to where everything is firing like it's supposed to. So I will tell you, I know it's scary at first because I was scared shitless. I mean, quite honestly, because I didn't want to hear back, oh, Eric, you have this and you have that, because then it's like, wow, what do I do now? I mean, am I dying? It's like that was the thought that I had, and I think a lot of people probably struggle with that. So I hope you do go at some point, and I think it will be beneficial long term, and I think you'll kind of find a lot of relief with it. So, but that decision is obviously up to you and your family, and what's going to work best for you. And I'm always cheering you on. So I like seeing all your positivity, even when you posted where you have been struggling, you still maintain positive attitude. That's huge, man. So
that's the thing is, like, I try to, you know, we all have, trust me, I can guarantee you every single person in this world has those negative thoughts. Even probably the Pope himself probably has those negative thoughts. You know what I mean? We all have those negative thoughts. But if we let those things take over, that's where we all have our issues, or we all get in trouble, or we, you know. And I've had those negatives for almost 30 years. They've taken over. They've taken over here and they're doing that. But, you know, I don't know if, you know, I don't want to get into a religion thing, but, you know, little by little, I found it. I found, you know, God, and these have kind of changed my life a little bit. A lot of it, you know. I got a family, man. I got a family. I got a wife. To me, that's the craziest part. Is
Yeah.
keeping that faith and knowing that, you know, just knowing that, you know, that we all love each other, you know, and
Yeah.
positive will overtake the negative.
Always. And I think that helps with your mindset of knowing when you have that support system, knowing that you have your faith, it takes a lot of that weight off your back. So then you can kind of concentrate on the things that you want to focus on. And that's huge. That's
I
huge.
try to spread those positive vibes because, you know, if there's negative people out there, and I see them all the time. I
Yep.
know people that I've seen and hang out with that are negative, and what can you do besides kill them with kindness? Is the way I look at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, limit your interactions, when you can. And then the other times, like you said, just, stay, how you react to it. That's the only thing you have control over. And so, like you said, killing it with kindness and staying positive, that's the best way, I think, as well.
It really is, man. It sounds corny, it sounds ridiculous, but especially with everything going on now here, a simple
Oh,
hug
yeah.
can go a long way.
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely. So the overall goal is 250.
250.
And you obviously it seems that you have a very good handle of what it's going to take to get there. You have a great support system with your family, your friends, and you have a trainer that helps you with your weight program and your diet program. So it looks like you're on the right path. And I think any kind of speed bumps or hiccups along the way, you have the right mindset to overcome those things. And I'm going to continue supporting you any way I can, cheering you on. And if you could say, one thing overall to people that are on the same path and the same mindset as you, or even haven't even started the path, that maybe are starting off at 300, 400, or 400 pounds plus or more, what would you say to those people?
If you've started, don't give up. If you haven't started, just start and take it one day at a time, man. That's because if you start looking forward to, 1 year from now, you're gonna fail. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've done it before. So, get started, take it one day at a time. If I can say one thing, just one day at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems to be the hardest part is getting overwhelmed by the overall challenge itself. But I think
if you look at the big picture, you're gonna get scared. It's overwhelming. You want to lose 100 pounds, like, oh crap. Work at 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And then another 5 pounds, and then another 5 pounds, and then from there, 5 plus 5, and then 10 plus 10, and you get to 100, and then you never know it. But if you get that big picture, you're gonna get stressed out before you even start.
Yep. Yep. Well, I mean, look at you. I mean, you're down over what, 200 pounds?
Right now, we're 200 pounds. I got down almost 300 pounds. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm still here, and I refuse to give up. That's my main thing. Is I refuse to give up. I might have obstacles, I might have my issues, I might have my roadblocks, but I'm still here. I'm still talking to you, and next time we talk, maybe I'll be under 300.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be 250. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I know you can do it. If anybody can, man, I'm a big fan. In fact, there's plenty of times, I think I've even sent you a few messages on Instagram where I'm like, you're making me feel lazy. I'm waking up at 6:30, 6:45, barely getting ready for work, and you already finished your morning workout, and you're getting your day started. I'm like, man, I gotta get my ass in gear.
Well, you know what? But that's the thing is, like, getting those messages motivates me.
Yeah.
It sounds ridiculous, it sounds silly, but little messages like you from you, like just from just because I'm not anybody special, man. We're all here, we're all the same level. We're not above anybody, and we're not below anybody.
Yeah.
For you to tell me that I motivate you to get going, that inspires the crap out of me, bro. Like, you don't understand how much that keeps me going. Like when I failed and when I put, that I messed up. It's, I've had some negative comments. It is what it is. I deal with those, but to have the support on somebody that doesn't even know you or never met you, like that on Instagram, those great comments. We're all in the same boat. I'm going through the same thing right now. It's knowing that you're not the only one dealing with that situation. Like it's a good feeling, I guess you would say.
Well, good, man. That's always what I want to put out there as well. I want the people to know because it's one thing, you know, it gets easy to like maybe a post that someone put up and, you know, scroll through to the next thing. I truly enjoy sending people just quick little messages, you know, doing a great job, man, you're killing it, you know, keep up the great work. And I think when we all kind of get those, that positive feedback, it gets us going a little bit more, a little bit faster, a little bit better. And then in turn, you know, it makes me feel good too. And it makes me want to work harder, want to do more, want to do better. I mean, even just with this podcast, I was so excited about sitting down talking with you, man.
I've been looking forward to it since we talked about it, bro. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like one of those things. I just like to share the positivity and show that it's possible. You know.
Yep.
I get messages every day that, you know, how do you do it? Just by doing it, just by starting, you know, just figuring it out one day at a time.
One day at a time.
I continue to reiterate that, but it's the truth. It's, you know, it's literally one day at a time. You wake up, focus on that day, and then work here next.
Yep. Well, I think we get wrapped up sometimes into wanting something to be more difficult than what it should be. And like you said, you have the right attitude with you just get started and just one day at a time. And, you know, the days are going to go by anyway. And next thing you know, a year will go by and you'll look back and go, wow, look what I've accomplished in this time. So.
It happened to me. You know, I was by myself. I hadn't been married yet. I just started going to the gym. I was swimming, doing my thing. A year later, I was like, oh, crap. 150 pounds lost.
That's incredible, man.
And that was just, and then I continued to just little by little go down, but it was my mentality of just one day at a time. And that's why I will continue to post that, continue to say it, because that's what worked for me, you know?
Well, that's great, man. Well, listen, I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me, and we'll definitely do this again.
For sure.
Anytime, man, just reach out if there's something you want to talk about, maybe something you've been dealing with, struggling with, that you want to put out there for everybody. We'll set this up again and we'll talk about it and keep posting these things to help everybody.
For sure, man. I appreciate it.
All right, my friend. Well, keep up the great work. Enjoy the rest of your weekend with your family.
You too, man. Stay safe out there.
All right, brother. Have a good one. We'll talk to you again soon.
Later, bro.
All right, Puro Positive, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
All right, brother. Later.